First down to a dance routine, all my fellow and feature outlaws, as this is Card Games vs. Humanity, and I am that Annika, aka Double G. Starting your week off with a recap of the show that really loves usage of close-ups on characters in dramatic fashion, Duel monsters. So as per usual, don't forget to hit that sub and that bell so you can catch new episodes when they're up. Hit that like and leave a comment linking me to a video of you doing your favorite dance very poorly. But enough about that, let's head back to our double duel, where even the frickin' recap begins with a dance routine. But before that, we're joined by Seto Kaiba, who is seen briskly walking towards the castle, looking at the picture of his brother, what seems to be about every 10 seconds. Out of nowhere, a large beast with pointy hair appears and attacks.
You're coming with me.
See, this time they actually let that violence slide because Kaiba paid off the writers, but they had to compromise by adding in a goofy sound effect or they wouldn't let it go. Anyone else think the position he's holding him in right now is just way more intimate than it should be? Back to our duel, the Paradox brothers are very happy right now because they're still in the lead by a whopping 100 life points. To this day, I will never understand why the Celtic Guardian sounds like a fucking oxen stepping on something sharp. Joey summons the Flame Swordsman and moves all of his monsters forward to join Yugi's live ox. The brothers aren't scared and make a huge move by doing absolutely nothing and just advancing the labyrinth tank about 7 spaces. Not to be outdone by this lack of effort, Yugi summons the Dark Magician and moves it in front of Joey's monsters like it's all one big Shonen Jump anime team ready for the Dark Tournament.
Cool.
Yes, Joey, it's cool. Fucking nerd. Para or Dox or wherever the crowd draws a single magic card, and I know what you're wondering, and the answer is yes. This is all it takes for them to break out into their weird flippy dippy dance routine. It's like I'm watching Lucha Underground or something. Magical Labyrinth changes the entire structure of the field, leaving our friends' monsters completely separated and their strategy broken. Joey is instantly scared, but Yugi says sit boy, so he calms down right away, and then uses this grid function that's definitely never been there on the dueling platform before to move Axe Raider forward a few spaces.
He activated my trap.
1. It's not a trap card. 2. Its name is not Landmine Spider. 3. Jirai Gumo has 2200 attack, not 2100 attack. 4. I'm gonna fucking stab someone. Gumo is weaker than the Axe Raider currently, but oh wait, silly me, he has an effect that apparently negates the kunai with chain, lowering its attack back to 1700. Conveniently destroying his monster before moving the lab tank another 7 spaces forward.
And then I'll lay one more card in defense mode.
Aren't you gonna tell us what it is?
That's not fair. How dare you set a card face down in a game where monsters specifically have effects that only activate when they're flipped face up and are meant to be hidden until they're attacked? How dare you not tell me how to beat it and what it is? It's finally Yugi's turn again, and he plays the not broken at all magic card Mystic Box, putting his Dark Magician inside, and then it dies. Wait, never mind, the Jirai Gumo, the Landmine Spider, is skewered instead and switches places with the Dark Magician, finishing his turn by destroying the lab tank that's currently in front of him and turning this duel around in one fucking turn. Back to Kaiba and Kibo's date, they're currently having some trouble getting into his apartment, so instead they reenact every Jehovah's Witness conversation before they inevitably knock on our doors.
Don't you think we should ring the bell?
I think you should shut your mouth and open the door.
I love how Mokuba's just in this dungeon doing nothing but looking at a picture of his brother complaining that he's not here yet, when my only real question is, I'm kinda surprised they let him keep that. Back to our duel, Para or Dox, or wherever the dick summons the almighty Sangha of Thunder, explaining that there's 2 other monsters in their deck that they must combine to form the almighty Gate Guardian.
Quit your mumbling, no hair.
What a fucking insult. For some reason, setting a monster face down becomes a box on the field before his brother from the same mother, or at least I assume, draws the Suijin right away because, you know, separating your monsters between 2 decks and making them harder to draw is a very good idea.
Another Chinese box.
Wow, I'm not really sure what's stranger, the fact that China was actually recognized on a Japanese animated show, or the fact that you could describe the box to have a dangerous enemy
energy
pulsating
inside.
Para or Dox or wherever the crap summons the Sand Moth, boosting its power with invigoration. It's a burrower, so it can travel underground and strike the poor Link without warning, taking some of Yugi's life points with it. Joey says that Yugi's gonna have to pull some magic tricks out of his hat for this one, so of course he has magical hats in his hand all along. He just really needed that reminder to look down a few inches. Hiding all their monsters, this makes attacking with a sandworm very risky, as it could be destroyed by the Dark Magician, but this is Yu-Gi-Oh, so that advantage lasts about, I don't know, 5 seconds before the Monster Tamer is summoned. A monster that lets him control another monster of the partner in the game that never had tag team duels to begin with, raises its attack power to 2800, but luckily it misses its first attack. Joey gets cocky and releases the Long Island Brawler from his hat, making a sound as he releases for some reason, before equipping it with a Solomon Great Magic card and raising its attack power to 2500. I guess somehow only Joey and Bakura knew that the Sand Moth had a weakness to fire, somehow not Yugi, causing its attack points to lower back down to 2200 and suffering what looks like an excruciating death.
You must draw the card we need.
Ha! The third piece!
You must draw the card we need now. Oh wait, here it is. How many fucking times are we gonna get this dance scene in one episode?
The Trinity! It's in the class of Exodia!
So like, shouldn't they just win instantly? There's so many little ways in which this might be the dumbest thing Yugi's ever said in the series. The Gate Guardian is formed, a massive monster made up of 3 different monsters that gets absolutely no attack boost whatsoever. Why? Back to Kaiba and Kimo's lovely romantic stroll through these caves. They seem to be having an argument about something.
You only got the jump on me because you snuck up and took me by surprise.
That was a level of delusion so strong that I can only respond by summoning my inner Chris Traeger, because that was literally exactly what he just did. Kimo stops at this one random fucking brick that has no signifying factors whatsoever, stepping on it and revealing an alarm switch. Kaiba says this is the worst day he's ever had and runs off. Our favorite British sport, croquet, appears to tell Pegasus things that he already knows before responding with, yeah.
You can beg later when you are punished.
Am I the one that didn't remember this show having so much BDSM in it? Yugi knows that he can't defeat the Gate Guardian just yet, so he just sets a few back row before the Dox brothers just skip his turn anyways, and the episode ends with them screaming really loudly as the attack is launched. Well, that's it for this week's episode. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget all that interactive shit, that like and that comment, that bell, that sub. It really does help. Tune in next week where, yes, it is 3 parts, and yes, it will finally end. The rhyming will finally end. And of course, a shout out to all my patrons. You could all beg me later when you're being punished. This has been the man from Earth with all the girth, ladies and gentlemen. Finally got my camera back. We shiny, we good, we ready to go. New mic soon as well. Be the character you know you're worth. See you next week. Back to our duel. The Paradox brothers are very confident and proud right now because they're in the lead. But oh wait, silly me, he hasn't. Gumai always summons the flame swordsman and uses all his... It's a burrower. It's a burrower. That's not fair. How dare you not tell me the... Joey is instantly scared, but Yugi says, sit down, boy, so he calms down instantly.